This Bitcoin double top is one of the largest traps in the market right now because I see a lot of people talking about this, saying that Bitcoin is topping out right now and that we're creating the exact same structure like we did in 2021. But don't get fooled right now here, because this time it is clearly different. And on today's video, I will be exactly explain why. I will be going in depth about how the previous cycle stopped out here and how this cycle is for sure going to be different. I'm going to be talking about all the reasons why you are probably getting shaken out right now if you're going to sell your Bitcoin at this moment of time. I'm going to be talking about my targets and where I think really the market is going to top out and what kind of a structure we're going to be having. So a lot to discuss, including altcoins and of course a major trade I am taking over here. So without any further ado, don't forget to subscribe to the channel right now here. It's definitely a very important video I'm uploading right now here. So let me dive straight away in towards the content. So right now on Twitter, I see a lot of people talking about that Bitcoin is creating yet again a bearish divergence on the weekly RSI and that we're creating once again a double top structure just like we did in 2021 here. But it seems to be that most people are forgetting that this time around we are having a completely different environment in crypto. And CryPTOSEA exactly explained this in his tweet. He said the 2021 double top comparison makes no sense here because in 2021 we had the massive Luna Ponzi scheme, we had the FTX collapse was literally in the making, and they were apparently using user funds to pump up the prices, which of course is not happening right now. And of course at that moment of time we saw the Federal Reserve hike interest rates at a pace never seen before. Well, right now the Federal Reserve is actually cutting its interest rates. And also to go even further in towards it, right now we are seeing very different accumulation. We obviously are seeing billions and billions of dollars flowing in towards Bitcoin every single week through the spot Bitcoin ETF. We are having companies stacking billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin like MetaPlanet, like Strategy, like GameStop, and many other companies as well are stacking Bitcoin in a very aggressive way right now. And of course, we are having states buying Bitcoin as reserves, and of course also nations. So there's a very different scenario right now in the making compared to 2021. And that is first of all why I don't think you can compare these cycles towards each other, and why most likely Bitcoin is not going to be topping out in a similar way. For example, back in 2017/2018, we topped out with a blow of top structure. This was of course a completely different structure, and everyone in 2021 was expecting once again a blow of top structure for Bitcoin before we of course went in towards the bear market. But of course that didn't happen. So now everyone is looking, okay, this cycle we're probably going to be seeing a double top again here for Bitcoin, but most likely it is not going to be happening the same like the previous cycle. So maybe this cycle we could get something similar like 2017/18 we got over there. All in all, what I think is one of the most important things to look at is the timing, because one way of predicting the Bitcoin top has never been wrong, and that is with timing the top here. And that is usually always 18 months latest after the Bitcoin halving, we tend to see the peak being in here. And of course, months before that, we usually already see the top being formed. This happened also in 2017. This was the accurate prediction. In 2021, this was the accurate prediction. And most likely for this cycle, again, it's going to be an accurate prediction. But for the ones that are saying the Bitcoin bull market is stopping out right now, it is completely nonsense, because at the same time, if we're looking at the Bitcoin bull market peak indicators, we are literally seeing 0 out of the 30 Bitcoin peak indicators flash right now here. And most likely, these indicators are going to be flashing as soon as we're going to be having that next rally towards the upside, which I am personally expecting. Because right now as well, if we're looking at all the on-chain indicators, guys, the net realized profit, so how many people are actually selling their Bitcoin to take profit? Almost no one. Also, if we're looking at the funding rates, we are not spiking right now. So it's absolutely foolish to be bearish right now on Bitcoin, because always, every single top, also in 2017, 2021, it always corresponded with major retail FOMO and also with extremely high funding rates, because everyone thought it was going higher. Also, the MVRV score, one of the biggest and best indicators on how to predict if an asset is over or undervalued, also not showing us that we're overvalued at this moment of time here. So you would be absolutely a fool to say Bitcoin is stopping out right now. Further on, I want to talk about a little bit more of the imminent short term, because right now, if I'm looking at Bitcoin, actually, we're getting that same retest just like we got in November 2024, before we had the absolutely exponential rally towards the upside on that EMA ribbon. So ultimately, that is also looking very great here. And talking about where I think the market is going to top out here, I said it many times before on my channel, and I've been also predicting the exact bottom perfectly on Bitcoin right now here. And now I will be predicting this next rally towards the upside, because I do think Bitcoin is going to follow the liquidity that is currently getting printed worldwide here. I mean, so far it has been exactly predicting the crash here, and now it's predicting the next rally towards the upside. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that exactly play out right now here. But for Bitcoin, the ultimate take profit target, in my opinion, is going to be a triple bearish divergence, so not a double top, but this time around, I think we're going to create a triple top, so we're going to be expanding this a little bit more towards the upside, and then Bitcoin is probably going to create a major bearish divergence on the RSI, and we are creating and at the same time, we're creating obviously a big weekly downward sloping trend line here on the RSI on the weekly time frame, which is probably also going to be very difficult to break above of. So yeah, this is my expectation about what I think is going to be happening. And for the ones that got fooled over here, that thought Bitcoin couldn't come down here, you have to understand, just like last time around, we could be in for some major sell pressure, especially also if we're looking back at all the previous times we saw major interest rate cuts here. It always happened due to a recession. And one of the reasons why Bitcoin potentially could drop here is potentially due to a potential recession that could be coming up here. But for now on, at least on the imminent short term, I am still predicting we are going to get one final run towards the upside. And this final run is also going to be the same for altcoins here, because I believe a major cycle in the altcoin market is about to be happening. And also, for example, if you're going to be looking at where the biggest gains on Ethereum have always been realized, it is in that later stage in the cycle. This is a chart compared to Bitcoin. So this is the Ethereum chart compared to Bitcoin, but the biggest gains against Bitcoin are always realized in the last part of the cycle. And like you can see on the data right now, we are right now in that last part of the cycle. So I do really think right now, of course, you can see on the chart, we are creating a higher low right now. I think we're going to create once again another lower high. But I do think we could be in for a massive bounce towards the upside. And of course, that could already maybe double the valuation of Ethereum right now against the valuation of Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin shoots up higher, it could be massive for Ethereum. I mean, right now we're creating somewhat of a bull flag pattern after this massive continuation towards the upside, and I won't be surprised to see something similar once again getting created, and that could catapult Ethereum all the way up to about $4,000. And if we go there, then I will be starting to take aggressive profit on Ethereum. So I am not also going to be sitting on my backs for a long time here. I am starting to open up more and more trades on altcoins right now. You can actually right now copy these trades if you go to the link description of today's video, and if you sign up an account, use the highest link below to Pionex, guys, you will get a free $30 towards $100 instantly upon registration. So yeah, if you're interested in trading Bitcoin and altcoins in general, make sure to check that out in the link description of today's video. I mean, I've said it so many times and I can't stress enough about it. And I mean, altcoins indeed have not really popped yet so far, but just look at this chart. This chart tells it all, because you can see it always at the end stage of the cycle. I get triggered by repeating myself so many times, but I want you to know this is always where the most amount of gains are realized. This chart tells it all. And I mean, I can tell you it, but it's more the charts that are telling the truth here. So I am betting on the 4-year cycle of Bitcoin. And of course, I'm also betting on the 4-year cycle of Bitcoin to know when it's going to be topping out. And that is most likely going to be around October, maybe November at latest. But this is what the actual data is telling you. So please don't get fooled by this major double top we're currently getting created. I see many people talk about it on Twitter. I see many YouTube creators also creating content about this double top and a Bitcoin the top is in right now here. But please make sure to do your own research. But I personally am not getting fooled right now here. So this was it for me in today's update video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, slap on that like button, and see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.